Today's video is gonna be a little bit different and I would say a little bit creepy. I do feel a little creepy doing this video, but I really wanted to do this video because I feel as though it's gonna give you guys some insight on the type of fragrance or the type of perfume that I do admire smelling on other women. The fragrances that I'm gonna show you have really left an impression on me. These fragrances are staples in my collection, and I feel as though they'll always be staples in my collection because they just smell so amazing. So if you want to see these fragrances, just keep watching. Welcome back and thank you so much for joining me. As promised, I'm going to show you guys some fragrances that I discovered on other women while at work. First up is Curve, and it's by Liz Claiborne. I first encountered this fragrance on a co-worker while working at Macy's in the early 2000s. Me and her both were sales associates. She was a very sweet girl, very clean, very well kept. She had like a casual type of vibe about her, so I feel as though this fragrance suited her very well. At first, I had no idea it was a perfume. I thought maybe it was something that she used on her hair, or maybe something that she used on her skin. Like, I don't know what it was, but it didn't smell like perfumey or anything like that. It just smelled very clean, very shower fresh. I really felt like this matched her vibe. This is Lily of the Valley and Freesia. It's very musky. It does have a slight citric undertone to it. It's a very pretty scent. Of course, one day me and her took a bathroom break and I broke down and asked her what the hell she was wearing, and she told me that she was wearing this fragrance, and of course I went out, picked it up. That was years ago, and I always keep this fragrance in my collection because it has left such a huge impact on me. I absolutely love this little fragrance. This is Curve and it's by Liz Claiborne. So up next is Pleasures, and this is by Estee Lauder. This has to be one of my favorite floral fragrances ever. This is just iconic. The first time I encountered this fragrance was in the early 2000s when I first got my first banking job, and there was a lady that used to work at the customer service desk that wore this fragrance. First time I smelled this, I was like, OMG, that smells really good. She smelled very clean, fresh. It definitely had a soapy kind of like scent to it. It was very bold, very powerful, but not overdone, not overstated. She was like a middle-aged female, and I feel as though this definitely matched her vibe. So she was a very sweet lady, very soft-spoken, very mild-mannered. That's kind of like the vibe that I got from her. That lady actually had me and another co-worker buy this fragrance because we used to go on and on about how good she smells. This is an amazing scent, and years later, I still have this one in my collection. This is Pleasures, and it's from the house of Estee Lauder. Up next is this fragrance right here. It's from the house of Lanvin, and I believe this is called Arpege or d'Arpege. I'll put the name because I can't remember the name of this, but I encountered this on a boss of mine actually. Me and her got along pretty well, so when she came into the office wearing this fragrance, I was like, you have to tell me what you're wearing. On her, it smelled very light, clean. It almost had like this relaxing scent. I know now that the main notes in this fragrance are lilac and cedarwood. It kind of reminded me of Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana, but I knew it wasn't light blue because this is way more soft. It's way more feminine, but I just knew that it smells so good, and I knew it was a fragrance that I just had to have. Another fragrance that I discovered on a coworker is Oh Lola, and this is by Marc Jacobs. So I was working with this lady. She was kind of new to my office, and this is a scent that she was wearing. On her, it smelled very powdery, sweet, fruity, but it was very clean at the same time. For a minute, I thought it was maybe some sort of hair product. It just kind of gave me that vibe when she was wearing it. This is strawberries, raspberry, pear. I believe we have peony in this one. We have a little bit of vanilla. It's a beautiful scent, so much so that I definitely had to ask her what she was wearing, and she told me that she was wearing the cream to this fragrance. So of course I wasted no time, ran to Macy's and picked up this one, and years later I'm still so amazed by how good this one smells. I've never encountered another fragrance that smells like this one, and that's what I love about it. It's so good. So it's sweet, fruity, a little floral. It has that light vanilla, a little powdery. It just smells so good. Another fragrance that I discovered on a coworker is Live Colorfully by Kate Spade. I was at work minding my own business, and my coworker came into my cubicle. She was wearing this fragrance, and the first thing I said to her was, what the hell are you wearing? Because she smells so good, so clean, so fresh. I did get a slight tropical vibe from her. I really kind of thought it was possibly a fabric softener, like a tropical fabric softener. It really didn't register as a perfume on her. It smelled so good. What I also like about this one is that it's super long lasting. So for the whole day, you could definitely smell this on her. It does have good sillage, and that's what I love about it. So this is Live Colorfully by Kate Spade. Another fragrance that I discovered on the same coworker is Honey by Marc Jacobs. So in the same week, okay, she was driving me crazy because she wore this one to work, and when she came into my cubicle again, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, what are you wearing? And she told me that it was Honey by Marc Jacobs, and I was like, wow, that smells pretty good. So on her, it definitely smelled clean, fresh, definitely gave me like some sort of a fruity, citric, floral type of vibe. Smelled really pleasant on her. This was another fragrance that will linger on her for the whole day. On me, it doesn't linger that long, but on her, for some reason, I could smell it lingering on her for like the whole day. I got pretty lucky because one day I decided to go to TJ Maxx and I found this one, and I remember that she was wearing this and how good it smelled on her, so I decided to pick it up. So yeah, this is Honey, and it's by Marc Jacobs. Another fragrance that I discovered on a coworker. Another fragrance that I discovered on a coworker is Rumeur, and this fragrance is also from the house of Lanvin. This fragrance I discovered in the early 2000s while working at a bank. I discovered this on one of the bankers from that bank. This lady was so classy. She was like a middle-aged woman. She was just the epitome of class, and this was her signature scent when I met her. And let me tell you, every single day this lady would just drive me crazy with the way that she smells. This is a very soapy, clean, classy, musky type of fragrance. I do get a creamy, musky, floral scent. That's what I get. But for the most part, before knowing the notes, when I smelled it on my coworker at the time, I just literally smelled like soap. It smelled like a luxurious soap. It smelled so good. It's a beautiful scent. It's definitely not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, but let me tell you, if this fragrance works with your chemistry, you're gonna smell so amazing. That lady, everyone used to talk about her scent. One day she left her scarf in the break room, and I didn't know whose scarf it was, and as soon as I picked up the scarf, I was like, okay, I know who this belongs to, because it was smelling so good. So that led me to buying this fragrance. In my opinion, this is a beautiful scent, and it has definitely become a staple in my collection. So another fragrance that I discovered on a coworker is Amazing Grace, and this one is from the house of Philosophy. This fragrance right here is very soft, very fresh, very shampoo like. It does dry down to a very animalic type of musky scent, which I definitely appreciate. It just smells so freaking good. And let me tell you, when you smell this on other people, it's even more special. What I do notice is that women wearing this scent, they don't even realize that they smell as good as they do. It's just beautiful. This fragrance definitely matches the person that I encountered this fragrance on. Very sweet, soft-spoken. I don't know if I want to say she's shy, but she pretty much kept herself to herself, like kind of like the type of person that minds her own business. Very cute, modest type of person, early 30s, and I kind of get that vibe from this fragrance. Beautiful fragrance. I've owned many bottles of this one. It's an absolute love, and I'll always have this one in my collection thanks to that beautiful coworker of mine. The last fragrance on this list is Design, and this one is by Sebastian. The first place I actually encountered this fragrance was in Perfumania. I was out and about shopping for a new fragrance, and the sales associate asked me to try this one. At that time I wasn't really into this fragrance. It kind of smelled a little bit too mature. It smelled a little vintagey, and that was definitely not my thing back then. I was looking for something more fresh, clean, I don't know, musky, something that smelled modern. So this was definitely not the vibe. This is not what I was going for. Fast forward a couple of years later, a new employee came into the office, and this is what she was wearing. Funny enough, she was young, like I would say she was like late 20s, maybe early 30s at most. This was her scent. It smells so amazing on her, and as soon as I smelled it, I just knew she was wearing design, because design is one of those kind of fragrances, when you smell it, you just know that's what you're smelling. It has this 80s vibe. It definitely has like a hairspray type of fragrance. It's floral, it's a little bit fruity. There's some light smooth woods in this one. What I get is gardenia, tuberose, honeysuckle, a little bit of peach, a little bit of sandalwood. So there is a lot going on, but it smells so freaking good. It's a beautiful fragrance, and I just love this one. This is a fragrance that I would just always want in my collection, and it's another fragrance that I discovered on a coworker. Next up is Yellow Diamond, and this is by Versace. This fragrance blew my mind the first time I encountered this on a co-worker. First, I thought she was wearing Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana. I don't know why I got that vibe. Could be that citric feel, could also be the cedarwood that's used in the fragrance. It kind of gave me that kind of vibe. But of course, I asked her what she was wearing, and I was surprised to find out that she was wearing Yellow Diamond. This fragrance is definitely a compliment magnet, because she's not the only person that I've complimented while wearing this fragrance. Beautiful scent, mimosa, cedarwood, very fresh, very clean, very sparkling, very bright. This is also a very good scent to wear in the office. It just smells so good. So yeah, this is yet another fragrance that I discovered on a coworker. Okay guys, so that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I can't be the only one that discovered many fragrances on a coworker. Light up the comments for me. Let me know what fragrance you bought because you smelled it on a coworker. Okay guys, so see y'all in the comments. Bye.